I got the crackers, I got the wine, but they got it backwards. Whoever thought that religion could be this good, but don't turn all of us rappers to pastors. Communion, the union of dopeness is plastered all over the wall, and they ain't even ask us. My God is the Father, you know we came after the gangsters, the orphans, and all of us bastards. Adopted, and now some options have been presented to me. I'm like an automatic weapon on a mercenary. They just wanna see the blood, they don't wanna see the heavy heart attached to it all, even though I'm good and ready, able to deliver whatever the situation is calling for. I'm capable of more than playing roles. Awkward, then it's our turn to do the opposite. Now it's very obvious who go their own.
I just gotta go off on it. I just know to put the sauce on it. I don't care about the cost on it. I just gotta get lost on it. I'm just trying to break loose. I'm about to light the fuse. I just need me a cup. I'ma pour me the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice.
Pick 'em out, pick 'em up, pick 'em up. Tell 'em pick a team, I got the juice. Tell 'em pick a scene. High IQ, kinda like Raheem. Used to show up the class like whatever I seen. Used to do the right thing, kinda like my team. Used to lay back dudes, was a really high dreams. Walking through the tunnel, then we saw some pipe dreams. Everybody wanna live a then you biting. Now the boy that started killing it and everybody feeling it. And everybody want a little bit of lightning, boy. I got the plug if you want the power. He makes the brain, boy, you want the shot. Let me see my wife first, might take a nap. Step out my bathroom, had to take a bath. I got the juice, I give the goosebumps, I give him the proof, I got the pie.
I just gotta go off on it. I just know to put the sauce on it. I don't care about the cost on it. I just gotta get lost on it. Just trying to break loose. I'm about to light the fuse. I just need me a cup. I'ma pour me. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice.
Just to rewrite history, cause I'm in the mood to label us the leaders of the new school. This ain't for the radio, can't find this on YouTube. This the type of killing that these critics ain't used to. Victorious, victorious, victorious. In this day and age, I got time for innovation, time to be creative, time too big to waste on my time on critics hating. Flattered by your opinions to show you I'll just embrace it. Now watch a worldly sunrise up, no daylight savings, go nuts when I have to. Glaze bet my sound in this beats on the house that we dreaming. Watch me way back up in there, guess who my thoughts are distorted. Cause I recall guys were hating uncommonly, all of them became common denominators. Hold up, try to overlook a rival. All eyes on me cause I got no competition. Now looking at an idol. Your dough ain't long enough to pay for my attention. Man, it's the gospel for the black sheep. I guess it got a banging ring to it. Quiet with triumph on the rap league. So all of you mother can sing to it. I was born to be victorious. Most definitely victorious. I'm destined to be victorious. Through all the hate that displayed to remain warriors. I was born to be victorious. Most definitely victorious. I'm destined to be victorious. Avoided by the statistics, occasionally we'll quit it. Pay reality visits, but it was too hard to live it. Built on my confidence and deliver. Now I be burning these critics, cause they ain't know they was walking the course while burning their bridges. Hold up. Man, whoever thought I'd be rapping? The family ain't never think that can happen. Matter of fact, only person that ever pushed me to get out was my mother, and the only reason was cause sucking tracks. Heard that comments that chick that you put a ring on. And by the looks at your life, guess she's a Klingon. It's on me. Dudes had they lead on the board, but games change over time, so I even the score. Youngest sped it up, learn how to step it up. Recipe chefed it up, set it up, sit it in wrapped enough. Giving the rest to us, going off. So of course, maybe we're shown or throwing it off. Treating it like a saying when they playing me foul, but I still got my point across. And this is gospel for the black sheep. I bet it got a banging ring too. to it. I was born to be victorious. Most definitely victorious. I'm destined to be victorious. Through all I hate, display we remain warriors. I was born to be victorious. Most definitely victorious. I'm destined to be victorious. Through all I hate, display we remain warriors. Try to overlook a rival. All eyes on me 'cause I got no competition. Now looking at an idol. Your dough ain't long enough to pay for my attention. Try to overlook a rival. All eyes on me 'cause I got no competition. Now looking at an idol. Your dough ain't long enough to pay for my attention. I was born to be glorious. Most definitely glorious. I'm destined to be glorious. Through all I hate, display to remain warriors. I was born to be glorious. Most definitely glorious. I'm destined to be glorious. Through all I hate, display to remain warriors.
Yeah, I can read chat. Alright, so the SpaceX shuttle is launching tonight. There's a little party in Alt Space. So, we're going to check that out here in 20 or so minutes. I'm going to take a shower because I'm nasty right now. All right. How it's done, folks. All right. We did it. I'm gonna patent the shower head for VR. Probably, kickstart it. $50. If you back, you get 1 shower cube for VR enabled showers. If you back $100, you get 2 shower cubes for VR showering. It's going to be an emerging industry, VR showers. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all day. We're gonna go watch the SpaceX launch in a virtual party with other people. That's gonna be fun. Testing audio. There we go.
Second stages are both nearly fully loaded with 1,000,000 pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. The first stage should finish prop loading around T-minus 3 minutes and the second stage at T-minus 2 minutes. We're approaching T0, so let's listen in on the countdown net momentarily. Now, at the T-minus 60 seconds mark, be sure to listen for the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown. The new Centaurus Sat-2 payload continues to be healthy. The F9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. Weather's looking good. Range is green. Let's listen in now.
All right, I think I fixed that now playing thing in the bottom left corner. I'm going to reset the space and hopefully that'll fix it. So bear with me 2 seconds.
All right. It's pretty trippy.
Hey, what are you doing?
Falcon 9 is on the internal power.
Hi, are you Scott?
I'm in
Oh,
I'm in alt
there's
space
a
right now.
robot approaching me. Bye-bye.
Stage 2 pressing for flight. Go for launch.
Send a friend request.
Click on my profile and that's what happens.
Oh, 15 seconds, jeez.
Stage 1 pressing
Shut the fuck up.
You, bro.
9,
8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Quit or the emojis. Both of you.
So at T plus 47 seconds into flight, everything is looking nominal. We're currently preparing to throttle down as we enter max Q.
Okay, room 3. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix it. Hang in there.
That was beautiful. Watching that thing.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
So there you just heard we pass through max Q. We'll now throttle back up.
NVAC engine chill.
There you heard the call out for NVAC engine chill. This is the point in which, like I mentioned before, we start to flow these super close.
Okay, there we go. Jesus, that was such a pain. I'm so sorry. Okay, everyone should be seeing the video now.
This helps us reduce the temperature difference between
We've been seeing the video.
Yeah, we saw it.
everything looking good with stage 1 trajectory.
I wonder if it's still in Earth's atmosphere.
Main engine cut off. MECO 1 approaching now.
Look at that. Beautiful.
And there on your screen you can see that the second stage engine has lit the gorgeous red orange glow of that nozzle. We're now at T
That's so cool how you can see the engine light on the first stage behind it.
Coming up next will be fairing deployment.
Look how hot the second engine cut off
We don't
is.
need the fairing anymore, so in order to improve our vehicle efficiency, we shed the extra weight. Let's check in on the status of the Falcon 9 booster.
Awesome. Right? That's fairing deployment. Nice. Apparently they originally wanted to attempt a fairing recovery today, but they said the seas are just too rough, so they had to scrub the fairing recovery attempt.
Bermuda acquisition of signal.
While Stage 2 is doing its job, Stage 1 will be coming back home to Earth, and it will also execute 2 burns, the first of which is the entry burn. First stage is traveling at roughly 2,300 meters per second, and this 3-engine burn helps to slow the stage down. The second of the Stage 1 burns is called the landing burn. This is a single-engine burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly from about 250 meters per second all the way down to 2 meters per second in order to gently land on the target. As I mentioned earlier, for this mission, first and re-entry conditions are predicted to be the most challenging for any recovery attempt to date. It is possible that we might lose our camera feed during the landing attempt. due to the drone ship's position over the horizon.
Hmm.
But if that
It's good that they give you that
we'll bring
disclaimer
an update
now.
as soon as we reestablish connection. Stage 1 landing should occur about 25 seconds following second stage engine cutoff. The entry burn will be coming up here in about 2 minutes.
Is it SpaceX? Sweet.
What are we gonna do after this?
It is T plus 5 minutes and 27 seconds, and we're just under a minute until the entry burn begins.
It's interesting. Oh, okay, there they go. I was wondering why they weren't showing the first stage. Maybe it's just... I suppose that's true.
So on your left screen, you can see the first stage coming down, and you'll see a bright light when the entry burn begins.
What's up? What's up?
We're just about 25 seconds away from entry burn. You can also see on your right screen the second stage.
All right, watch your language. Dude, quiet. We're trying to watch this guy. People be quiet. I'm trying to watch this sky. If you're trying to watch this, why don't you shut up?
There we go.
I guess they told me. You be quiet.
And their entry burn has begun. This should last about 18 seconds.
What are those hands for?
Get some of that
Hey,
If you
atmosphere.
like Mark, then you don't suck. If you like Sonic, then you suck. Tell me that I suck. No, I
Sound like a
didn't.
kid.
You idiot.
Coming up at about T plus 8 minutes will be a
Yeah,
rapid
Johnny.
What's up?
This will include the first
But more often than not, the main reason it'll fail these days is if the landing burn doesn't work. In which case, it's actually designed, the trajectory is designed so that it misses the drone ship entirely if the engine fails to light that last time.
Talking about something is designed or something.
And we are at T plus
That is
7
correct,
minutes
whoever
and
just said
22
that.
seconds. So we're just under a
What's the item on the left?
No, that's right.
The left was the booster.
And they can talk, and you can talk to them.
Terminal guidance.
Click the
Stage 1 retreat trace on it.
click that thing that asked you first. It says that mic. Turn your head over there where you see the mic. Bring it back. See right there.
And that second stage engine is glowing bright there. When Seagull 1 starts, that engine
I
will
just kind of, I'm just looking.
QFDS is safe.
Oh man, so we're really not going to see the landing?
Stage 1 landing startup.
Oh man, that's rough.
I thought that they canceled stage 1's landing. Somebody just said that.
have Seagull 1.
Yeah, they canceled the thing. I just heard that.
Oh, I hear cheering.
Stage 1 landing will be clear.
I'll take it. Oh yeah. Look at that. Dead center.
That's cool.
That is so uncanny. It's like we're living in the 50s.
Yeah. The current day 50s.
So we are going to take a quick break, but we will be leaving you with an animation that shows you where we are in the coast phase.
cheering, but I didn't
We
see
will be
anything
back at
different.
about T plus 26 minutes for a second stage relight and
Right.
the first
So,
stage.
ladies and gentlemen, if you heard her, it looks like we have about a 15-minute break here. The second stage is on a coast phase where it can get to the right part of the Earth, so it can start do another burn and drop off some satellites, it looks like. So yeah, we're just going to take a break here for 15 minutes, and then we will resume. In the meantime, like I said, there's still tons to explore, especially if you guys have never been here before. As I mentioned before, the full-size rockets. We also have some more educational posters over here in the corner by the windows here. Actually, every corner has windows. You know what? Just follow me if you want to see. So, this, if you've ever played Kerbal Space Program before, this might look familiar. This is what is known as a delta V chart. Delta V means change in velocity, and that is how we measure how far or how hard things are to get to in space. Okay, think about it this way. You know, one of Newton's laws is an object in motion stays in motion unless an outside force acts on it. Well, that force that's acting on it is approximated by delta V. So if you're in orbit and you want to go from 5,000 meters per second to 6,000 meters per second, you need some amount of fuel proportional to your mass. And that's a whole lot of math that you don't need to care about. There's another poster in the back about that, but I'm not going to talk about that. This is more for relative measure. Just know that it's basically how hard it is to get somewhere. So, for example, to get from low Earth orbit to the moon, it is only about 5,000 delta V, right, meters per second, 5,000 meters per second. But to put that into comparison, it takes 9,400 meters per second just to get into orbit to begin with. And that is so, like, conceptually, it feels weird, but until you realize that Earth actually has a lot more gravity, and the larger gravity, or the higher the gravity of the body, the harder it is to get away from it. So that's why in the spaceflight community we have the expression, once you're in orbit, halfway to anywhere, right? Because you've already spent half the amount of fuel you need to get to, even all the way out to Mars is only about that much again, right? You could get to, let's see, maybe not quite Europa, but pretty close.
Wow.
So yeah, that's this. I encourage you to look at this at your own leisure. It's interesting. Let's see. Next up, we got this little. This is a scale model of the version of the rocket we just saw. Obviously, again, the full size one is out back, but this one has a couple more of the stats if you're interested in the numbers. So the first stage has 9 engines, which burn for 162 seconds. Right, just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes 32. And at that, it puts out 7,600 kilonewtons. That is a lot. That is, think about 1.7 million pounds resting on a square foot of the floor. Right, I think those things would collapse under that, but those engines are designed to put up exactly that, and so is the launch pad. The numbers are just so hard to wrap your head around. And then with all that said and done, we end up with a payload to low Earth orbit of 22 tons. So that's actually, I mean, that's not a ton. It's 22 tons, but it's not a lot. Right? So if you want to put, say, a car into orbit, you need, 1 to 2 tons. 22 tons is a pretty good amount, but not when you're talking about building things like space hotels or asteroids or lunar landers, right? So this is considered like a medium lift rocket because it can do 22. SpaceX and Blue Origin and actually even ULA, all the rocket people are more or less trying to build in this new class of like super heavy launchers, and those are gonna start launching things on the order of like between 40 and 100 tons to orbit.
Wow.
And that's gonna be SpaceX is actually testing theirs right now, or this year. We're expecting to see some orbiting flights in the next couple years, so it's gonna be really interesting to keep an eye on all that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep moving around. Let's see. Oh, I scattered a couple of movie posters from some of my favorites. Of course, I grew up watching Apollo 13, which is on the far side, but I feel like The Martian is sort of a modern retelling. It's pretty good. Though, of course, one of these days, Matt Damon is gonna learn not to get stranded. But yeah, it was fun for all that. Here is read the book, The Martian.
Did the audiobook. That was good.
Some emoji if you've read the book.
Yeah.
Yay, Bri, nice, Bree. Yeah, I mean it's a fun book. It's really accessible. They don't hold out the numbers, but they make them make sense. I like it.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, we probably should have started the tour with this. It's something I forgot. Is that up here above the screen, this big poster of the car in orbit is not Photoshopped. That is an actual photograph taken in February of last year during the Falcon Heavy demo mission. If you click on it, it takes you to a video of that same car in orbit around the Earth that was taken in that same time frame. It's just so surreal that that's actually there. That same rocket should be flying again in a couple months. I think this summer. Aqua, do you remember when that Falcon Heavy is supposed to be going up?
I've heard a couple months. I forget the exact date though. I don't have it on hand.
Yeah, a couple months. But yeah, that is a large rocket. It's basically 3 of today's rockets put together. It's crazy.
And those are launches you don't want to miss. Those are always exciting.
Oh yeah, because they do
cool.
the famous just like we saw this rocket land when the Falcon Heavy launches. It's 3 rockets all landing simultaneously, and it's so cool because you get like two of them literally land right next to each other on the ground, and then the third one lands on the drone ship. So it's wild. You won't want to miss that. Keep an eye on your calendars, your Alt-Space event calendars, and otherwise. In fact, this is a good chance to plug it. There's a little rocket icon in your menu. If you click it, you can subscribe, and you'll get an email every time I post a new Rocket Party event. So if you guys want to, if you like this event and you want to come to more of them, that's a great way to keep in touch. We're also on Twitter at Rocket Party AVR, like Alt-Space VR. Yeah. Let's see, what else we got? Favorite of mine. This was stolen from a rather informative XKCD comic, if any of you are reading that. This is, if you know that song, 500 Miles, and I would walk 500 miles, right? Know that song? This is, play that beat in your head. This is how fast things in orbit are going compared to the island of Manhattan.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
So, in about 1 or 2 measures of that song, they've cleared the entirety of Manhattan.
Oh, man.
Which is just so surreal, right? If you want to read that whole article, you can click on the poster, and it talks a little bit more about the orbital mechanics and how getting to space isn't about going up, it's about going sideways. You need a lot of velocity going sideways to avoid hitting the ground when you fall back down, right? Crazy.
I looked up the Falcon Heavy launch, and they were aiming for March 7th, actually. So
March 7th? Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's really coming up. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on your calendars. Hope we can know this soon. And in fact, the Dragon 2 demo mission is supposed to be in the next couple days, isn't it? Or did they push it back again?
I don't know about that one yet. I thought it was further off, but it should be soon in a couple months.
Oh,
it's definitely getting pretty up. They can show pictures.
Yeah, I think last I heard it was like scheduled for early March, so it might be in a similar time frame. But either way, keep an eye on your calendars. We'll figure those out. Yeah, let's see. Then over here we have a, as I mentioned at the beginning, the Mars Ball, as I call it. This is a 360 panoramic. Is about half the distance away as the horizon is on Earth. So even though we're in a crater, you can't actually see the crater walls because they're behind the horizon. It's really weird to think about that.
Oh.
Let's see. Another thing for a sense of scale. So this picture over here in the downstairs area is more or less the radius of the Falcon 9 rocket. This is what they call the octaweb. This is the structural support area that holds all the engines. And the guy in the middle working on it for context. So think about, like, if you sort of curled up into a ball, you'd be about that size. So yeah, this is the scale, give or take.
Looks like a very simplified version of a collider tube.
I can see it. I did not want to be on that Ferris wheel, though. Alright, let's see, on the wall over here, I slapped a sticker for a charity that I support, the Planetary Society. They're doing some pretty interesting things. They're mostly about space advocacy, but they also actually fund little demo projects. One of their more interesting ones for me right now is they have a prototype light sail that they are actually going to be launching on a Falcon Heavy sometime this year.
Nice.
If you don't know, a light sail is basically a method of propulsion where they spread out a super thin, super light, like metal foil, and out as much as they can, like on the order of a kilometer of this stuff. And then the radiation from the sun actually conveys enough force onto that much area that it pushes the spacecraft through space. It doesn't have engines, it literally just catches the radiation and it uses that to push. It's just insane.
That's crazy.
But yeah, they do some cool stuff. If you're looking for new charities, that's definitely a good one to support.
Quick question: do you know how?
Let's see. The CEO of Planetary Society is Bill Nye, by the way. Famously, Bill Nye the Science Guy. So that's fun. Love him or
That's
hate him,
cool.
you gotta love what he's working on.
Nice.
And of course, the memorial wall. Space is hard. That's true. He's an engineer. That's fair. But again, the scientist is as scientist does, I guess. But yeah, the memorial wall. I mean, space is hard. Space is dangerous. Anytime you put someone nearby, millions of pounds of explosives, it's gonna get a little dicey. This is a list of all the people that have died, either during a mission. Actually, no one has died. No, that's not true. Either mission or during training or during testing. Up top, on the top row, you may recognize some of these names from the Apollo 1 mission, where they famously saturated, max pressured the crew capsule of the Apollo rocket with pure oxygen, and then a fire started. So I don't know if you know about how fires and oxygen work, but that was bad.
Yeah, and the door would open inward rather than out.
Right, so it overpressured, they couldn't open it. But yeah, Roger Chaffee, Gus Grisham, and Ed White were the casualties of that one. I'm not super familiar with most of the Soviet people because their program isn't as publicized as ours, I guess.
Very secretive, especially
yeah,
with failures.
absolutely.
Especially
Yeah.
failures.
Oh boy, yeah. But let's see. On the third and fourth rows, we have the crewmen of the Challenger and Columbia space shuttles. Of course, each of those were carrying, I think it's 7 apiece.
Yep.
So, yeah, those were, the toll on that was pretty bad.
Yep, I remember that. That was harsh.
But, next to it, to sort of temper the sobriety of this, I have a quote from Gus Grisham, who, of course, was one of the Apollo 1 astronauts. If we die, we want people to accept it. We're in a risky business, and we hope that if anything happens to us, it will not be the program. The conquest of space is worth the risk of life. And I really think that's important to keep in mind when we're talking about new crew missions coming up. I think later this year, we're supposed to be having new astronauts launch from U.S. soil. So, yeah, I mean, NASA and SpaceX are doing everything they can to make it as safe as they can, but it's never going to be 100%. So, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and without the sacrifice, we couldn't be doing what we're doing.
Exactly.
They helped us find all the problems. So
Pushing science forward, absolutely.
we owe them a lot.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that is the majority of the room. So, how about we
go out back? Go out back?
Yeah,
the big rock?
let's go out back.
And excuse me.
Oh, I keep forgetting about this one actually. But in this little side room in the balcony, there is another little poster. So this is a little more informative. But yeah, this one is a little more sciencey. If you don't like math, don't bother reading this too carefully. But it's just an explanation of that delta V number that I mentioned before. How it's proportional to the gravity of the body you're trying to leave, the amount of fuel you're bringing, and the efficiency of your engines. So, yeah, it's... Oh yeah, feel free to read through that. I'm not gonna read all that out.
I want to ask
Oh
you
man, I hear somebody talking. I'm guessing somebody's sharing headsets. Hey. Hey guys, yeah, you missed the launch itself. Oh. Hey, it looks like the live stream is back. They're about to do a new burn.
Engine chill, and it is about to briefly reignite for the second and final burn of tonight's mission. And then it will begin deployment of today's payloads. First will be Space IL, and
Space
then
IL.
the new Centaurus Satu satellite. As we mentioned earlier, another payload will be riding along on today's mission, an experimental small satellite for the U.S. Air Force Research Lab, but we won't be able to catch footage of that particular deployment this evening. We'll see a second engine start at T plus 27 minutes, and it'll be burning over Gabon for... Oh, it's burning right now. There we go. It's lit. So you can see that gorgeous glow. It's burning over Gabon now for about a minute, and then we'll have second engine cutoff around T plus 28 minutes, 7 seconds.
Yeah, kilometers per hour. I'm in America. I don't know perceptually how fast kilometers per hour is, but it's fast. At least 20 miles an hour.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to jog that fast, I'm sure of it.
No, it's... Yeah. 600...
Approaching Seco 2 in 10 seconds.
Yeah, actually, it's
Is the
just
video
about
paused?
1,000 kilometers per second right now.
So somebody was asking.
So just
right now, it's going about 23,000 miles per hour.
So just the PSA, if you're new to AltSpace, you can turn on a personal space bubble so people can't touch you. That's in your menu. It's a little pin. It's labeled bubble.
We have good orbit. We just had confirmation that stage 2 is in a good orbit. So at this point, we'll be coasting for the next 5 minutes or so, and we will be back just after T plus 33
Arctic Dragon, what's up? Yeah, you see? See how that works? If I click... Yeah, see? Wally. Yep. Okay, so, yeah, it looks like we got another minute or two here before the next satellite deploy. So yeah. Oh, actually, I'm going to take this chance to combine some rooms. We lost some people during the coast, so let's get more people into fewer rooms. So I'll be moving around. Your space might reset, so just keep that in mind.
Cool. Thanks.
Hey, Jack.
What's up, Noah?
Say, hey, I actually gotta leave in a little bit here, but I figured I'd stop by, say hey real quick.
Oh, right on.
Didn't realize
Thanks for saying
until
hi.
this morning that you were, yeah, good seeing you again.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until this morning that you're actually doing the project this week, but that's pretty cool.
Sweet, man. Thanks for saying hi.
Very admirable.
Appreciate it, man. Good seeing you.
It's been a while. I don't know if you'd remember me, but a few months ago I was actually over at the studio and wound up getting into a car accident a little ways afterwards. So.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But, I'm hoping I can come back and see you in person again at some point soon here.
Yeah, dude. Let's I mean, you have my Discord and stuff, so feel free to reach out. We'd play some Beat Saber again. That'd be rad.
So I was actually going to ask you just because it's been a lot on my mind recently.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm still going to PSU.
Sorry, let me mute.
I've actually been taking a American Sign Language class.
Oh, nice.
I know that's something that we had like kind of lightly discussed.
Steve.
But I've been trying to kind of compile stuff on my own about how we could
So
make
it's
sign language
frozen on my
specifically
screen.
American Sign Language a little bit more
I don't
viable
know why.
within VR.
Okay, sorry about that.
And
If you want, if you just rejoin the room, it should fix it.
Mhm.
The 5i.
So you can either, if it doesn't,
like eye
just restart
tracking,
alt space.
we've
But
got
yeah, especially the
decently
mobile
well
headsets
put that
are a
on the
little
way.
flaky sometimes.
Yeah, can we move over here? I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Okay, what's up? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So I've been like compiling stuff on my own, just trying to figure out like how it could work. But you know, with like the Vive Eye, the leaked Valve headset and stuff, we've got eye tracking on the way decently well.
Oh shit, there's a leaked headset?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm out of it.
Partially leaked with the Knuckles controllers, but
Oh,
there's
okay.
the potential that they might be doing a full headset. It seems like it would probably be about the same resolution as like the Vive Pro-ish.
Interesting.
It looks like there might be some sort of modular design on the front for stuff like potentially built-in hand tracking, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So like actually implementing a sign language through the hand tracking in like a VR experience?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude.
And here's my question for you. You might have some good ideas on this.
Yeah.
So obviously, sign language relies pretty heavily on hand motions, but it also relies very heavily on facial expression. So tracking your eyes is one thing. I think being able to track mouth movements wouldn't be terribly difficult, technically speaking. Just having a camera or some kind of sensor on the bottom of the headset. But what I've been trying to figure out, and you might have some ideas about this, is how we might be able to track eyebrows.
Alright guys, looks like deployment should be happening any minute now.
I'll think on it, dude. That sounds like really interesting. I imagine you might be able to track the eyebrow length in accordance with like the pupil dilation, maybe. But that would be like really precise. I have no idea, man.
Man, look at that.
Yeah, I'll think on it. You should if you want to reach out, you can come by the studio and we'll talk more about it. It'd be rad, man.
I was about to say, yeah, that on the right, that's Earth,
No
right?
doubt. You just say you got to go, or you want to check out the launch?
Is it weird that I want to hold up my hand and try and block the glare so I can see what's going on?
I don't know if I told you or not, but I've been doing Pavlov a lot. But
Oh, nice.
I actually just recently formed a team with.
So I
two
think
other
it
people.
deployed. I just don't see anything.
You did what?
We've got some. We formed a team.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Like an esports thing?
Team Infamous.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's
we're
right.
Going over some call outs, some strats tonight, so be fun.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
I would, yeah, man, I gotta re-download Pavlov. It's a fun game.
Okay, successful at least.
It's a good one.
We've been messing around with the beta a bit. The stuff that's coming is pretty awesome.
It's good.
Change it pretty significantly because I don't know if you tried the beta for it at all, but
Yeah.
he's adding in like attachments. So like so far it's been pretty comparable to CS:GO, but you know obviously it's got its own things in certain aspects. But adding in attachments to it is changing it quite a bit. It's very exciting what he's doing with it.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Because when I played it a couple months ago, it was like pretty straightforward. Just kind of like felt like Counter-Strike 1 or something or Source. But
yeah,
that sounds interesting. I gotta retry it.
Yeah, if you want to try it out, just hit me up. We'll hop on if you want.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have a lot of time the next 6 days, so I'll definitely reach out to you. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think we'll actually be doing some.
This is a great video. Oh my god!
For our guys for some practice Saturday morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm pretty bad at it, but drop me a message if you don't mind me joining. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Be a nice little addition to the week.
Yeah, right on.
Man, this is powerful.
I'm gonna check out the video over here.
So cool. Of talented people who worked hard to prepare me for this day. I waited long enough for this moment, and I am ready. Yalla.
Neat.
Let's get to the moon.
Yalla.
What an exciting mission and day for Space IL. As Jesse mentioned earlier, that is the first privately funded lunar lander, so congratulations to the Space IL team. We wish your lander all the luck as it makes its way to the moon. Now we have a short 8-minute coast before we deploy New Centaurus Satu, so we'll take one more quick break.
All right, in a break.
Stay with us. We'll be back around T+45.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the standard operating procedure for geosynchronous orbit launches. Just because you have to get the alignment just right, so there's a lot of sort of waiting for things to align. Which is why I like the CRS missions more, because it's nice and fast. CRS missions are the ones where they're launching cargo to the International Space Station. And those, man, they just like fire and forget, you know? It takes, I mean, technically it takes a couple days for the to actually get to the ISS, just because rendezvous is very slow. But, man, the launch itself is like 20 minutes. It's great.
I love the picture of the Tesla orbiting Earth up here. That's awesome. That was so cool. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, the Canadarm can actually walk like a spider, kind of crawls across the station.
Oh, neat. I didn't know that.
It's detected. Yeah.
Have you tried one of those the gun? Oh, just happened. Have you tried the gun stocks for like Pavlov?
Tried it on free on the Oculus Store is Mission ISS, where you can actually operate that Canadarm and try and orient yourself in zero gravity. It's actually pretty cool. If you've never tried it, you should.
Oh, that's fair.
That's cool. Yeah, but I've looked at a few. I actually tried to build a pretty simple one at a PVC. It's kind of my own design.
Oh, nice.
I recently figured out that as a GSU student, I actually have access to quite a few different things, including some 3D printers and a laser cutter. So I'm actually going to try to build my own pretty soon here.
Oh, sick. Yeah, is that at CMII? The little lab they have there? Yeah. Yeah, you can build some dope stuff there.
And I realized they actually have 3D printers at the Clarkson campus now as well.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to potentially try to do some over there just since it's a little bit closer to me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sick. I got this this guy from Mammoth. He sent me like the prototype one. I'm supposed to be testing it this week, but it's like, yeah, it's super dope, man. It's like you can kind of like adjust it on the fly. So like for different guns and stuff. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, you can definitely like 3D print one up. That would be that'd be dope.
I liked how Magnet did it with the like magnet insert on the top of the Vibelon, so you kind of like put it underneath the stock rather than, because a lot of VR stocks will have a it's basically an inverse stock. So normally you'd have part on your shoulder that comes up here and goes out.
Right.
But with a lot of them, it goes down and out. That way you have the controllers up on top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because you could just like click it off. I think what would be really cool is like having a mix of like hard PVC pipe-ish material, and then like, have you seen those Gorilla tripods? Like those bendable. Yeah. Having something like that where it gives you enough resistance, but you can also just like rotate it around. I think that'd be dope. Kind of want to try prototyping something like that.
Actually, ProTube VR, they've got some really good stuff, but they're actually, I don't know if they've technically started the funding for it, but it's an attachment for the stocks that they already have, but it's just the butt of the stock. But it has like a motor in it and a membrane on the back. You can actually have some feedback.
That's dope.
For the guns. It looks
so it like kicks back a little bit or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad. I can't imagine. I feel like in the future it's gonna be like that. It's rotate.
It'd be crazy having something like that, and then having like a Infinitec or a Catwalk or something, or like Onward or something.
It'd be so addicting, man.
So looking forward to that.
In a full haptic suit, so you feel the shots and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be so dope.
I feel like one of the other nice things about that is, instead, because like, you know, right now a lot of VR games will either have controller-based locomotion or head-based.
Yeah.
Which it's not bad, but being able to have hip-based locomotion, especially if you can actually, well, I just lifted my foot up. If you can actually be using your feet and actually walking to move,
yeah,
is going to significantly increase what you can do. Like I'm sure you know being actually having full body tracking and whatnot. But
I mean, I can't imagine like the game mechanics would open up, being able to actually have to like move the lower part of your body as well. Be interesting.
It's interesting to think about it from the perspective of like movement speed, because with desktop games, it's like, okay, this is the button to shoot, this is the button to reload, this is the button to move forward. It's all consistent speeds. Whereas in VR, like just doing Pavlov, being able to not have to be reliant on reload speeds of like, oh, okay, this gun takes this long to reload, this one takes this long to reload. I just be like, okay, pop the mag out, pop it in, done.
Yeah. You're not relying on the animations.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it does make it more skill-based, and I'm wondering how things are going to change once we have movement speed as a mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Imagine it'll...
You also have to deal with endurance.
Yeah. I imagine it'll almost like be more accepted in esports by the traditional sport like industry. Like they'll see, okay, you actually have to be like physically fit now to like be the best in game. It's interesting. Looks like starting.
Looks like 1 minute to deploy.
If you've just joined us, we've had a really great day so far. Beautiful liftoff from Cape Canaveral.
Try to stay for
A
the
successful landing of a rather spicy landing.
Word.
Of course, I Still Love You. Great deployment of the Space IL lunar lander just about a few minutes ago, and now we're just waiting for our final, our last deployment that we'll be able to see today from New Centaurus Sat 2. So that'll be coming up just in a few seconds.
So this one's going to give broadband to India, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty impressive. Everybody needs internet broadband.
10 seconds.
Well, seeing how most of their poles have 50,000 lines on them and shouldn't be standing, yeah, they need to go wireless.
What's that?
There we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
And there you can see on your screen visual confirmation of deployment for the new Centaurus satellite.
Well, interesting point on that note. It's the computer for the Apollo missions was remarkably simple.
And with that, that brings our webcast to a close this
but it was
evening.
very hard.
Thanks to SSL, PT Telecom Indonesia, SpaceIL, and Israel Aerospace Industries for entrusting us with tonight's mission. Thank you also to the 45th Space Wing for range safety and to the FAA for today's launch.
We'd also like to thank all of you, our viewers, for tuning in tonight. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions.
No, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming to these Rocket Party events. You know, I used to watch these on my own, but this is so much better with all of you guys to hang out with, isn't it? Let's and of course, let's give it up for our satellites of the day. We got SpaceIL, we got the country of India, and of course we got SpaceX. So hats off to them. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. If you like what you see, maybe you want to come to another one. Keep an eye out on Oculus events. We post most of them there. Or you can also get emails sent directly to you every time I post a new event. If you click the rocket icon on your HUD, there's a button to subscribe there, and you'll get emails. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. I look forward to seeing you guys probably, I think it's in a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. There should be either a Falcon Heavy launch or a crew capsule test. So either way, exciting stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Do not miss that Falcon Heavy launch. That's going to be awesome.
Agreed.
So anyway, thank you everybody. I will see you around.
Thanks, Steven.
Happy alt space.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now where do you go?
Hey Jack, how you doing so far with the challenge?
What's up, man? I'm hanging in there. It's tough. It's events like this help, like meeting you, Noah. It's brightened up my mood a little bit. It's nice. Hanging in there.
Just a computer screen or a smartphone. You just kind of move it around and it'll present
I don't know, man.
It's like just the social
and you can
aspect
talk
of
and
VR.
everything. So
Yeah. It feels like, you know, you're talking to someone. It's like it's real. It's nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a leap motion on your hand?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
That's that's so trippy.
Like, it really doesn't work to move. Like, I have to use my controllers.
Oh, yeah.
It's only to, yeah. It's only for expression, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I can move.
That's that's funny.
3 full rooms. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty accurate. Dang.
Yes, it's awesome, actually.
Huh.
Like, it's a shame that not, it will be great if more developers use hand tracking. Or
Yeah.
get it as an option, but yes, it's very accurate. Like, it works very, very good. Like, the leap motion demos are amazing.
Yeah.
And it just attaches to your like your Vive or your Oculus, right? The front.
Yes, that was the connection. Yes, it has like a
It's a little too many, isn't it?
so it has a trim tape, so you just put it on over in front of your headset, and there you go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Can't have that then.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's quite light, so it really doesn't bother me. I like it.
The future, man.
It's right now it's basically for development. Like that, like
Cool,
Altspace. It's really cool that Altspace has access to it. You can use it, but
see you all in a
they
couple
are
weeks.
not.
It should be great.
You can do anything,
see you.
nothing with this. But like there are some really cool experiments that people are trying with this.
Yeah, I imagine it's good for like prototyping different motions for like AR and stuff. Isn't that company making the Looking Glass, like a AR headset? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes.
That one looks really interesting.
Yeah, like it's a expensive AR headset, like you have to make yourself, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very interesting, and and it makes a lot of sense. Like the tracking in this is amazing, so I can only imagine that the headset also it's amazing. It's kind of like the future of AR, like how AR is going to be in 5, 10 years.
Yeah,
That's the idea of that headset.
that's interesting.
I think that's going to be one of the big things for mass consumer adoption of AR stuff is being able to have that natural hand interaction, because it's one thing when you hand somebody a headset and some controllers, you're like, okay, so you're going to press this button to do this.
Yeah.
But when you can just be like, here, grab this, drag it over. Done.
Yeah.
That's what you need before it can be the next smartphone, basically.
Yeah. Or like click this button, tap this, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like thinking of these new ways we're going to interact with like media, because no one would have expected, in the 70s that we'd be swiping on Tinder or swiping on Twitter to view more information. I'm sure now we're going to be like pulling levers and like, using your hands. So it's true.
Yes. The other day I saw a video of an example of AR, but using a smartphone as a device. So like you can type in with AR your smartphone, or you're using a smartphone.
Oh, and it expands.
Yes. So you have a video and it shows your full view. So it's also quite interesting, like how you can combine both to have a cool experience.
Yeah, I feel like I hope that's the next step. Like, from the glasses, I imagine, if it's like connecting Bluetooth or something. So you'd have like a smaller form glasses, that'd be rad. It's like that transition period.
Yeah. Right now there are a lot of things to discover. Like this is just the beginning.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a weird 5-10 years. It's already weird. We're watching a yeah. We're gonna watch like the Mars mission in VR 3.0.
Yes, exactly.
Full dive
Like,
VR.
what did you do this evening? Oh, I rode Curiosity on Mars.
That'd be rad, man.
What's really weird is like, it sounds like it's a joke, but like you're actually interacting. Imagine like you connect to interact with stuff in space, and you are on Earth where you are interacting with that's for like so far away. Like you are kind of there if you are interacting, So it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It'll be interesting.
meta.
Yeah. It'll be interesting once we have more, I guess, like volumetric video content out there. Because, like, we have plenty of stuff now where, like, YouTube supports 360 videos, but once we have the level of support for normal content, once we have that level of support for volumetric stuff, like the light field photography stuff that I showed you the other time.
Yeah.
That kind of, once we have that as like something that most people can capture on a daily basis and just upload to a social network, that'll be super cool, I think.
It's a game changer, man. Because you think about like we would now have the ability to actually capture memories or like moments. Like if you're going to like your kid's birthday party when we're like 40 years old, we could actually capture that specific moment, not just a frame of it. That's insane. Oh man.
Like right now it's quite interesting.
You got to figure out the software side of it, but I want to set up multiple cameras and actually go talk to my granddad about his experience, like he was in the Air Force for a long time as well. So talk to him about that, and like, because I never got the chance to do that with my my granddad on my mom's side. He actually passed away pretty recent, well, a couple months ago, but that was something that I wanted to do, but I just never got the chance to. So I think that's something I want to try to do with more members of my family, because preserving just general documentation and preserving memories is so important, because you might be able to remember a certain amount of things, but once your mind starts degrading, and once you get busy with life and stuff, you just don't remember everything that you need to.
Yeah, dude. Like merging the old memories with new technology. It's rad.
Yeah. super long term. But what I want to do is I want to build an application that's basically like a family tree, but it's for VR, AR, 3-dimensional. So you can actually, go through physically, and for each person,
Ooh.
They can have basically what would essentially be a VR or an AR hologram that you can interact with, maybe talk to, but just access different little interviews or memories from them. I think that would be a very good thing to have.
That'd be cool to do that with like famous people, like going through the family tree of like Obama or Trump or something. That'd be really interesting.
And like right nice thing, like you can find like there's kind of like 23andMe or like you make DNA test.
Yeah.
Like you can match those, So okay, in my DNA test, I match with certain amount of people and all of my video, and then you make the family tree, and you can not only know that you have some relatives around there, but access to that. That will be rad.
Yeah. Data visualization.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's actually a code visualization program for VR that I saw. I'll send it to you if I can find it.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was Primal or something like that. But I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure. Check it out. You're right. Well, cool, guys. It was good seeing you again, Noah, in the virtual world. We'll have to reconnect and stop by the studio after.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
I've actually, funny enough, I had a friend who take like senior pictures and stuff. I was looking at the picture, I'm like, wait a second, I know where that is, and it wound up being like 2 doors down from the door that you would go into the studio.
Oh, nice. Yeah, right at the bell.
So I might try to bring him with me next time if that's cool.
Yeah, man. Open house.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's good meeting you, Moonwatcher. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, good meeting you. Good luck, dude. What you're doing is amazing. So keep going. Like, I'm sure in the future we're going to watch this and say, "Oh my god, this was crazy," and I really think it's going to change. Like, it's really important, to know if someone's capable to use a VR headset 1 week. It's important for companies and the future.
Yeah.
Everything is great, dude.
Thanks, man.
You're doing history.
Appreciate it, man. All right, yo. I'll
See you, man.
catch you guys later. Peace.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Moonwatcher, it was nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, sure. You're doing history. Dude.
All right, see you, man. Yeah.
That was Altspace, Dreaded Mike. Okay. I'm gonna head to bed. I've kind of set a little rule that I don't really check chat after 10 or so on weekdays, just to remain sane. But I'm going to restart the stream really quick because it's delayed by about 60 seconds. We've been streaming for 31 hours straight, but it should be down for no less than 30 seconds. And I assure you the headset will remain on. I will be recording it. So here we go. Once again, stream is going offline for about 60 seconds or so. It is delayed very much. My streaming laptop is powering through right now, and